Hello everyone. Alright, here we are again. Another year, another cream of the crop video. You all know the drill by this point. 5 games, 1 honorable mention, highlighting my favorite games of 2022. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's get started now. This year's honorable mention is Naughty Dog's quasi-remake / remaster of what is arguably their seminal game, The Last of Us. There really isn't anything fresh I can say about this game that hasn't been touted for almost 10 years now. And despite this thing's questionable price and reasons for existing in the first place, The Last of Us is still a quality game. And this remake is undeniably the best way to play it now. The gameplay isn't the rebuilt from the ground up shit that Naughty Dog touted in all the marketing, but it definitely feels better than ever to play, and the updated visuals are incredible. If you've never played this game and can get it on sale, The Last of Us Part 1 is an easy recommendation. I strongly considered making Cuphead the Delicious Last Course this year's honorable mention, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that would be a slap in the face to the talented folks at Studio MDHR. DLC or not, it deserves to be here. They worked extremely hard bringing this hand-drawn animated goodness to life and only asked for $8 in return. When I saw how much detail went into the animation, I felt like I was ripping the studio off with that asking price. Not only have they improved the already jaw-dropping animation, but they also took a lot of the feedback from the base game regarding boss design and their occasionally irritating RNG systems and applied it here. Most of the bosses in this DLC are some of the very best Cuphead has to offer, and they're fine-tuned and balanced to a near perfect degree. They're a joy to fight, and conquering them never fails to give me a potent adrenaline rush. Some players might be put off by its short length, but in my opinion, Cuphead the Delicious Last Course is a bite-sized treat that tastes fucking wonderful. Despite the rather critical video I made about it, I still believe Elden Ring deserves to be here for all the things it does right. I'm not as enraptured with it as many other people are, but god damn, this game rules. It's hard to believe that this is From Software's first attempt at creating a massive open world, but they scored a home run. Elden Ring injects new life into a tired and stagnating genre, because it doesn't treat the player like an imbecile and actually allows them to explore this dangerous world at their own pace and learn how to navigate and survive it by making and learning from their inevitable mistakes. From Software learned the correct lessons from their crystal clear influences like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Shadow of the Colossus, and combined them with their own iconic attention to detail and beautiful audiovisual presentation. I hope future open world games learn from his example, because it's going to suck going back to the cookie cutter template this genre usually follows. Again, it's not my personal game of the year, but it's hard to deny how much I overall enjoyed my time in the lands between. God of War Ragnarok is a firm reminder that PlayStation does these massive, big-budgeted single-player games better than almost everyone else. Among the game's many impressive qualities, such as its astounding graphics, banger of a score from Bear McCreary, and fun-as-hell combat, the main thing that continues to impress me even after over a month since I finished the game is its storytelling. Thanks to its exceptional writing and really strong performances across the board, There are multiple moments from this game, both loud and subtle, that live rent-free in my mind. Ever since The Last Jedi, it's unfortunately become sort of a meme to say that a piece of art subverted one's expectations, and it's now normally said in a negative and sarcastic context. God of War Ragnarok is proof that subverting expectations isn't always a bad thing, especially if there's payoff, and Ragnarok has a lot of payoff. It's difficult to get into specifics without spoiling the best stuff Ragnarok has to offer, so all I can say at this point is that this is a must-play experience if you have a PS5, and it's one of the finest games of 2022. The highest compliment I can give to Stray is that it reminds me why I love video games. By video game industry standards, I'm an old man, and my gaming habits and taste often don't click with what many publishers are peddling nowadays. That's why Stray feels like a breath of fresh air. Instead of a behemoth open world game or a money-grubbing live service that never ends, it's a short, one-and-done story that values my time and compacts so much joy and wonder into its short playtime. Because of its unique concept and brilliant execution, Stray pulls off an amazing illusion by making me feel like I'm exploring a large world despite how linear the game actually is. It harkens back to some of my favorite games growing up that pulled off a similar illusion, with way less graphical fidelity and gameplay smoothness. As I said in my review, I couldn't be happier that a lot of Blue 12 staff were able to get away from working on the morale-crushing sludge that spews out of Ubisoft's ass, and create something that is clearly filled to the brim with passion and care. Games like Stray remind me that there will always be nuggets of gold in the increasingly barren wasteland that is the modern video game industry.
This is the story of a video game called The Stanley Parable.
As tempting as it is to meme it up and write this in the style of The Stanley Parable, I want to do this right. The big roadblock is that I can't sufficiently explain why I love The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe so much without giving away the experience. I adore the original Stanley Parable as well, but Ultra Deluxe cranks it up to 11 and then some. Ultra Deluxe deepens the already enormous rabbit hole of the original game and takes the player to some hilarious, unexpected, and thought-provoking places. It's a one-of-a-kind experience that is best played knowing as little as possible about it. Even if you played the original, there are so many new things and secrets to discover that it's mind-boggling. Actually, I think Ultra Deluxe is more effective if you've played the original. However, if you've never touched either version of the Stanley Parable, you're doing yourself a great disservice. Ultra Deluxe was like reconnecting with one of your best friends from high school and having an even better time with them now as an adult. I just love this game so much. It's a masterpiece. Please play it. It's wonderful and easily my favorite game of 2022.